It used to be with Disney that the animation crown when it came to movies was theirs and there wasn't much competition. But the last few years, Disney has not been leading the box office in the animation side of things. Now, they have had recent success with Inside Out 2, as that has made over $1 billion and is now, I believe, the highest grossing animated movie of all time. But outside of Inside Out 2, things have not been that great. But one of the people that was responsible for Disney having such great animation success was John Lasseter, who was let go kind of unceremoniously from Disney back in, I believe, 2019. Well, since then, he took a role with Skydance, and there's an interesting situation developing that could affect Disney. But we got an article here we're going to talk about and give some thoughts on this. So, hi, I'm Jared with Capture the Magic. And like I said, here we have an article. This is from Pirates and Princesses. And the title here is John Lasseter to get a significant role in Paramount following merger with Skydance. So, I mean, basically, John Lasseter was fired because he liked giving hugs. And John Lasseter, if you're unfamiliar, was the head of Pixar, was, responsible for all the Toy Story success. You had Cars. A lot of the movies and everything that came out of Disney was because of, I'm not going to say completely him, but he was leading, John Lasseter was leading the charge on these things. And since he's left, it has kind of been noticeable that the movie qualities on the animation side have lacked. And again, Inside Out 2 is doing great right now, but that's kind of the anomaly out of the past few movies that have been released from Disney. So we're going to go into this article here and talk about this. So after much speculation, media giants Paramount and Skydance reached an agreement effectively merging the companies. The $8 billion deal will see Skydance CEO David Ellison become the CEO and chairman of the new Paramount, and Jeff Shell, former CEO of NBC Universal, become president. So many of the different divisions and hierarchies will undergo a lengthy restructuring over the next several months. And you see that a lot when you have mergers. Now Paramount did change their logo, and I don't like this. I think they needed to keep the logo they've had for like 100 years. And I'm wondering, I don't have it on hand. I think it's kind of looks like the same font as Skydance. So that's my guess as to maybe why they changed that. Yeah. If you look at Skydance right here, they pretty much did that, which I get it. But I think the Paramount logo is pretty one of those iconic logos, if you really think about it. So, however, one of the more interesting parts of the merger revolves around the company's animation division, specifically in terms of leadership. Skydance Animation is currently headed up by former Pixar Animation and Disney Animation boss John Lasseter. Lasseter unceremoniously left Disney following some questionable accusations, basically of hugs. Since then, he was headed up Skydance's animation division with multiple former Disney writers and directors joining him. That's one thing that I've talked about a lot over the last few years is since Lasseter left, he has been poaching people from Disney. Now, thus far, they haven't really produced anything on the Skydance side, at least that I'm aware of, that is really anything that would compete with Disney. But the thinking here is he's been trying to form a team over here, and he has a lot of ex-Disney people alongside with him, people that he worked with that are talented animators that seemingly Disney either just didn't want to use anymore or Skydance was willing to pay more. The merger announcement stated, Skydance's exceptional pool of in-house creative animation talent led by pioneer John Lasseter will expand Paramount's animation capabilities as well as consumer products opportunities over the long term. While nothing is 100% clear as of yet, if Lasseter will indeed head up Paramount's newly formed animation division, he will not only have greater power over a wider range of projects, but also access to a wide pool of intellectual properties, such as the Nickelodeon library. Now, I am a massive Ninja Turtles fan. Now, I'd have no clue if he would have anything to do with that, but I would be perfectly fine if John Lasseter wanted to revamp Ninja Turtles, because I can't say I've been very happy with the Ninja Turtle offerings over the past, the last movie. Didn't care for that one. I would be okay with that. But that's just one property that, as a kid, I loved Ninja Turtles. The situation is somewhat ironic given the fact that in 2019, Paramount Animation refused to collaborate with Skydance Animation over Lasseter's hiring. Now the same studio that shunned him now apparently works for him. Kind of funny. Paramount currently has 3 animated projects set to release both this and next year. And other in-development projects might be affected following the merger, given the fact that Skydance Animation also had a number of films in the pipeline. So obviously there's not a lot of details on this, but I think it's interesting given lately you have Illuminations from Universal. That's basically like Universal's version of Pixar, has dominated the box office animation wise compared to Disney. I mean, they have outperformed Disney at the box office on the last, probably I would say easy the last 5 years on the animation side, and it's not even really close. I mean, they were behind the Mario Brothers movie, the Minions, Despicable Me. All those movies are Illumination. Now, like I said, Disney and Pixar did have Inside Out 2, which is a giant hit for them. So that's been a great success for them. But given if John Lasseter is, going to be the head of Paramount Animation, and Paramount, they just went through this merger, and I think you're going to see a lot more mergers in the future with all these studios, given streaming stuff has kind of gotten things messy. There's not as much money being made at the box office. So I'm not going to be surprised to see more of these. But if John Lasseter is the head of their animation department, and with the talent that they have been acquiring, it very well could shape up that we're seeing another animation, I'm not going to say giant, but an animation competitor step in here and could compete perhaps with, Illumination and Disney. And if that's the case, again, I'm all for competition. So I think if we have another one stepping in here, I think that would be great. Now, I don't know if John Lasseter is going to be able to rekindle the magic that he had when he was with Pixar and Disney. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it doesn't. A lot of times you see directors that had great movies. Ridley Scott, for instance. I loved Gladiator and a lot of his older movies, and some of his newer stuff is not the best. And sometimes people lose their touch. No idea with John Lasseter if that is the case, but potentially you do have the man that basically built Pixar into what it is with all the movies of Toy Story and Cars. A lot of those movies that people loved as children could be offering some competition to step into the animation side. I've been kind of keeping an eye on Lasseter for a while, seeing over here at Skydance. I haven't seen a lot of stuff come out, but I have seen some moves in terms of people coming over there. So we'll have to wait and see how this one develops, but I do find it kind of interesting. So that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage of sometimes pop culture like this, and a lot of times Disney World, Universal Studios, Epic Universe, and things like that. And let us know in the comments what you think about this. Do you think this could be a big move, or do you kind of think this is just not going to end up being much of anything? And until next time, we will see you later.